Hello everybody, my name is Levi Clay, and that solo was Brent Mason's solo on the Zach Top tune Good Times and Tan Lines. Now, if you are unfamiliar with Zach Top's music, highly recommend you check it out. I have put this video together because his new record, Ain't In It For My Health, came out I think last week, and I'm a big fan of the music that he's making. It's very old school country in that kind of Alan Jackson or Brooks and Dunn style of playing, and I'm super into it. That's always been the country music that I've been into, because that is, to me at least, the sound of Brent Mason. Now, worth considering, Zach himself is a good guitar player. So, in fact, he plays a Brent Mason signature guitar. So he will probably be playing these solos in music videos, playing these solos live, but I'm relatively confident that Brent recorded the actual solos on the record. Having said that, if it turns out that actually Zach tracked this solo, then good on him. It's a great solo. So I wanted to walk you through how we go about playing all of these licks and give you a little bit of an insight into the mindset behind playing like this, because of course we are outlining chord changes here, so it makes sense that we have a bit of an understanding of what is going on. But before we do that, this video is brought to you by my own website, guidedpracticeroutines.com. Check us out, where you can get access to over 100 hours of guided practice routines, video lessons where I walk you through the things that we're going to practice, but also we practice all of the routines in their entirety together, because of course if you practice together, then we'll progress faster. Check us out at the link in the description. I'm sure you will have a blast. Oh, and there's also, 85 Brent Mason solos up there for you to take a look at. Anyway, so I'm playing my Telecaster today, and I've got a very basic like Fender Tweed amp sound with some compression. I've added a splash of slapback delay and reverb to that. Neve preamp for a little bit of EQ. Essentially a relatively clean tone though. And I'm forcing myself to stay on the bridge pickup, even though that might feel uncomfortable for you. These pickups in particular are the Joe Barden, Danny Gatton set, so they are particularly twangy in that bridge setting. But it's something that you have to get used to if you're playing country music. The other thing that you might have noticed is that I am in drop D. Happens a lot in country music. If you're playing a song that is in the key of D, very common for the lead guitar to drop down to D, which allows us to get those twangy D notes in there. So drop D. Other than that, pretty straightforward. So first thing to tackle when you're looking at a song like this, or looking to learn a solo like this, is to really understand the chord progression. So we are in, like I say, the key of D, and we have 2 bars of D. No, sorry, we start on the G. So it's on the 4 chord in the key. So we're on the G. Back to the 1 chord, D. Back to our 4 chord, G. Back to our D, the 1 chord. Now the fun thing here is we go to the 5 chord A, just for 2 beats. It's a bar of 2/4, and then we're back to our D chord. So the entire chord progression for the solo would be G, G, D, D, G, D, A, D. Now that little bar of 2/4 might, confuse you, but it's when I play it, I tend to play 1-2, just 2 downstrokes on that to give me that feeling of that bar of 2/4. But I think it's important to get that feel before you tackle the solo. So if I play it a little bit faster, if I go. That's how we're doing that. And if I'm counting during that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So very important, I think at least, that you have that understanding, because now when we look at the licks, they're going to make sense in the context that we're playing, the chords that we're playing over. For example, if we look at the first lick, and that's how I'd recommend learning something like this, you want to take it lick by lick so you understand what's being played, context of the chord. So we're starting out over a G chord and we're going to play... Sorry. So what is that? Well, we're starting out with 2 and 3. I would call this a 2 to 3 bend. And when I say 2 to 3, I don't mean we're bending the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret. I mean we're bending the 2nd degree of the scale. So we're playing over a G. A is the 2nd. And we're bending up to the major 3rd of the chord. Which looks like a G triad. So we bend and release. Open G string. Now this slide from E to F tells me that I'm not just thinking G here, because we have that F in there, we're thinking G7. That's sort of a vibe, right? So gives us that very dominant sound, even though technically not correct, that's the sound of country music. Open string to the pulling off to the open D string. We're then going to slide 3 to 5. Again, hit that F because we're playing bluesy country music here. And then we have, which is our flat 5, 4, 2. Then sliding 1 to 2, which is our minor 3rd to major 3rd. And then plucking the open G string, which of course is the root note. So everything played in relation to that G gives us a strong G sound. And we want to learn that lick like that. You noticed I played it in time throughout. So even if it's slow, 3, 4. And we have a true understanding of what's going on when we speed it up. It's going to be consistent every time we play it. When you get really fast, it's going to be really accurate. Now we shift to a D chord. Great lick. Open D. That's the first part we want to get down. So open D, slide 2, 4. Then we have A hammer, B, playing the open D string, and repeating. Now we shift up the neck to another D triad, because of course we're playing over a D chord. So what is that? So classic Brent Masonism, sliding up to the 3rd of D. And of course, big way or a big aspect of how I teach triads as part of the Triad Mastery course on guided practice routines. We learn all these triads, very, very important for our visualization and helping us to understand why we play the things that we play. So sliding up to the 3rd of D, that's a classic D major triad, A shape. We're going to slide in with a pick, then pick 7, 9, and then double stop 7. So we want to go pick, middle finger, pick, hybrid pick. If we put that with the lick before, well, it's actually 16th notes. Takes a little bit of time to get that transition, but again, all sounds like a D chord. Now to finish this lick off, we're going to play after the double stop down to the 7th fret. Again, that's the root note, and go. So what's that? Well, D triad, and we're walking into the notes of the triad from chromatically from below. And again, 10 and 10 on the high strings is just the notes of the D triad. So everything we play sounds like the chord. All very much sounding like a D chord. And if we put one lick after the other, sounds like we're outlining chord changes. Now we go back to our G chord, and we got this really cool double stop lick on the G and B strings. So what is that? Well, we start, I would say double. You really want to know your triads again, triad mastery course. I'm just walking between these. That's it. So 12 and 12, 11, 10 chromatically, 9 and 8 chromatically down, 7 and 6, and then 5 and our classic 3 with the major third. Again, triad. Now you might notice that I'm playing pedaling an open D string. That's the vibe there. Again, great G lick, right? Always sounding like the chord. Sounds great. Now, hardest lick in the piece, if you ask my opinion. We then go back to our D chord, and we're going to play now that's really tricky to play, deceptively tricky to play. So we're going to play 7th fret on the D string with a palm mute. We're then going to go for a bend on the 7th fret of the G string, 2nd finger. We really want to make sure that's pitched accurately. We then reach over for the 8th fret on the high E string. Now we keep this note pre-bent, that's important. You also want to kill the note as it happens. Then we hit the 10th fret on the B string, then the pre-bent note, and then shift down 7 with our with the note that we did, sorry, with the finger we did the bend with, so the 2nd finger. Which will allow us to hit the 6th fret on the B string with our index finger. Now you want to spend a lot of time on this lick. And it starts on the and of beat 1, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and... I don't think that's played with a B bender. I really don't, because you'd be having to bend. You could maybe do that with the B bender on the B string, but of course I'm not playing a bender equipped guitar today, so I think it's very few people play bender equipped guitars. So I think learning to play these B bender style licks, even without the bender, much like Vince Gill would play licks like this, really beneficial for us. And actually, although it's actually not the worst to do with a B bender, but we don't have one, so. And it can be achieved without the bender, so don't feel the need to have the bender to be able to do it. Or don't use the lack of having a B bender as a reason to not play a solo that was played with a B bender. It might be playable. And so to finish up, we're back to our D chord. Now Brent plays this. And that's very much D blues, isn't it? D minor. So sixth, I'm thinking like this. That's sort of a D blues in the A shape. So bending the note, and then we're going to go 7/5 down to 7/5, and then we got the grace note. Now, when we're down here at the 3rd fret on the D string, we can pull off to our open D to get us into that open position, which is just nice and noisy, isn't it? Big part of that country style. Now we can have some bends on the 2nd fret, low D string. So that's the entirety of the solo. Now, the value in this is being able to play the licks individually, thinking of the chords. So G, D, G, D, and the A happens, and then we go back to our D chord. So knowing the chords helps, at least for me, helps me to really understand why I play the things I do, but it also lowers the memory requirement. There's a lot of notes in this solo, but I'm not remembering every single note. I'm thinking more broadly. I'm thinking the sound of a chord and the melody that happens over that chord, and that makes it easier for me to play because I'm not remembering individual notes. I'm remembering the sound of a phrase. Then we have to try and put it together. So this is a fast solo. We really want to take it slowly, and you should be comfortable to take something like this really in time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stay in time. That was in time the whole way through, and if I speed it up a little bit, 1, 2, 3, 4. Forgot my lick. A little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for me, that's the true hallmark of being a rock solid guitar player. I truly understand the details of a solo like this. I'm not generalizing when I play it. I don't have a rough idea if it kind of goes like this. I could play that at 20 BPM or at the full speed, which is 165 BPM. Because when I'm playing fast, it's me just executing the things that I understand slowly. Hopefully that makes some sort of sense. I'm going to cut in me playing the solo one more time. As I say, go and check out Zach Top's record. This song, Good Times and Tan Lines. Great record. The opening track, of course, is called Guitar. I wanted to do that, but there's 2 solos on there, and they're both shorter solos rather than this slightly longer solo. But well worth checking out. Really enjoy his music, and of course, the great, the almighty Brent Mason. If you've enjoyed this video, please do check us out at guidedpracticeroutines.com, link in the description. You can learn a whole lot more about my entire approach to teaching, knowledge of triads, ear training, and all of the stuff that you need to become a truly bulletproof guitar player. Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's that solo.
guess there really wasn't nothing else to do.